What if I told you that one of the most dangerous and deep-rooted beefs in Southern rap history might have just ended with a phone call? Fans are stunned, emotions are running wild, and the internet is in absolute chaos after leaked footage surfaced showing Fredo Bang, NBA YoungBoy, Boosie Badaz, and Kevin Gates all on the same call. Yes, you heard that right, for Louisiana Titans, who were once caught in the middle of diss tracks, betrayal, and even street rumors involving real violence, now allegedly talking peace. But here's the catch. Nothing about this is simple. Behind the scenes, the drama runs deep. This isn't just about rap. This is about family ties, old street codes, and scars that never healed. Fans are asking, what was really said on that call? Was this a truce or a trap? Did Boosie play mediator or mastermind? And why was Kevin Gates, who's had his own fallout with both camps, suddenly back in the picture like nothing happened? This story has twists, emotional confessions, explosive accusations, and a behind-the-scenes moment that no one saw coming. You thought this beef was over? Think again. This is bigger than music. This is a saga, and trust me, the truth behind that phone call. It changes everything. It starts with a hush that hit the streets like a silence before the storm, Fredo. Bang's phone buzzed at 2 a.m., and on the other end was none other than NBA YoungBoy. Fans have speculated for years that the beef between them was thick with history, diss tracks, social media jabs, side-eye glances at stadium shows. Everyone thought it was real. People felt that energy. But now, the call came. And, alongside, both of them were Boosie Badaz and Kevin Gates, two pillars of Louisiana rap royalty, on the same line. Their voices layered in one audio thread. Everyone is left wondering, was it an olive branch, a power play, or pure chaos waiting to explode? This part of the story opens in media's race as the call gets recorded by someone on calls with YoungBoy's team, someone who leaks it accidentally, or maybe not so accidentally. The snippet goes viral. Fredo's voice, calm but tense. "I'm tired of this mess," NBA YoungBoy replies, almost in one breath. "I feel you, but this ain't easy." Boosie tries to interject, his voice deep and graveled, trying to broker peace. "Y'all birthed this beef. We all Louisiana. We better than this." Gates adds that familiar smooth drawl. "We made history together. Let's not let street pride kill something bigger." But here's where it gets messy. Emotions run high. Gates pushes for a united front, but YoungBoy accuses Fredo of playing politics. "You with some executives now. You forgot where you came from," he spits. Fredo snaps. "And you still talking like street don, YoungBoy? What that gets you?" Now, and Boosie, sounding weary, pleads, "We not here to fight. Not again." Fans are shocked. This isn't diss track energy. It's a raw, emotional fallout on display. The family was left divided between camps online. Some ride for Fredo, some ride for YoungBoys, some just scream hashtag, not all. This call made people question everything they thought they knew. The conversation ends with no resolution. Fredo hangs up, YoungBoy stays silent, Boosie sighs. The line goes dead, but the narrative has only begun. From there, the story dives into the fallout. Clips of the call spread across TikTok, Twitter, and underground rap forums. Even mainstream media bops in. Headlines screaming Louisiana rap powerhouse call shocks fans. And did they just call a truce a trap? Gatekeepers of beef culture weigh in. Interviewers ask, is this the beginning of closure, or another chapter in rivalry? Friends and family of both camps react publicly. Fredo's younger brother posted crying in a tribute video, saying they both made me who I am. Don't let this end bad. YoungBoy's mom insists it's not over until they both say it's over, while Boosie's wife sends a prayer emoji. Fans are tuned in, Comments loaded with emotions ran high. Whose side you on? Prayers up. Alliances form, alliances break. Just when it seems like a fragile calm, part 2 on socials drops a twist. Leaked texts show that the call wasn't spontaneous. An insider says that a phone from Boosie's camp initiated it. That the meeting was planned to control the narrative top-down, label-influenced. Suddenly, the authenticity of the moment is in question. Was Fredo sincere, or was he playing the role they wrote for him? Was YoungBoy aware he was in a media maneuver, or did he just walk into another trap disguised as peace? Meanwhile, collateral fallout surfaces. An independent producer who worked with all 4 artists says he's lost half his bookings because clients don't want to be associated with someone who might be in the middle of a rap truce or a power grab. Emotions ripple through the industry. Chain reaction. The family was left divided. Artists, fans, insiders, even sponsors are forced to pick sides. Some studios see bookings canceled. Podcasts refuse to play songs by either artist for a week, avoiding the narrative trap. But some opportunists lean in, branding merch and drop collections around united or torn. Emergency street documentaries start popping up on streaming platforms, and then, just as the tension peaks, a new twist, a leaked voice note from NBA YoungBoy, recorded before the call, surfaces. In it, he sounds frustrated. "I don't trust Fredo. I'd stepping on no days built by snakes." Concordantly, a text from Fredo to a close confidant is leaked. "I'm going to play this right. If they smell weakness, that's it." Fans are rocked. The call might not have been a step toward peace, but a move in a chess game of public perception. Online. Reactions are fierce. "He played him," YoungBoy snapped. "This is industry puppetry." Emotions ran high. But who's really crying? The narrative fractures. The story now has layers of authenticity, betrayal, strategy, emotion, confusion, a dramatic territory where reality rap drama shines. Add dialogue from bystanders. A fan on a live stream says, "Man, I watched that call. I felt tears." Then, another interrupts, "Nah, he played us all." That tension, that friction, is where the story lives. And then we're struck by a deeper emotional conflict. Fredo's mom re-enters the narrative. She posts a heartfelt message. They both, sons of the South. South raised them tough, but they need to think beyond the streets. That message goes viral. YoungBoy's younger sister replies in comments, "I hope this don't turn us all enemies." Fans brace for an explosion, or an olive branch, as the open letter made its rounds across social media. Fans were still reeling, dissecting every word, every pause from that now legendary call. Theories exploded across Reddit and hip-hop Twitter. Was this a trap laid by someone bigger than Fredo or YoungBoy? Was someone behind the scenes using this beef to manipulate narratives for power, for money, or even revenge? By the time the sun rose, things were already boiling again. A respected blogger from a former assistant to Gates leaked a screenshot of a voice memo allegedly recorded weeks before the call. In it, Gates is heard talking to someone in a car, saying, "If they won't meet, we'll stage the meeting. Get the press rolling. But then, walk away when it all explodes. It's about control, not peace." The message shook fans to the core. Was Gates the mastermind? Was he playing both Fredo and YoungBoy to boost his own profile? Or was it taken out of context? Emotions ran high. A whole generation of Louisiana fans began questioning everything they believed about their hometown heroes. This wasn't about rap anymore. This was about trust, legacy, survival. YoungBoy finally responded, but not with words. He dropped a track titled "False Gods." It wasn't promoted, no rollout. Just a link posted on his burner account and a single tweet. If you know, the song was pure venom. In it, he raps, They playing chess on a grave, trying to make peace from pain, but I ain't never been a puppet. Never danced in they game Fredo, talk slick, but his soul don't match Gates' play. Peace, but his smile come. With a catch. The internet went nuclear. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. Fans broke down the bars line by line. This wasn't a diss track, it was a declaration. YoungBoy was saying he saw through everything and he was out. Fredo, meanwhile, held his position, no diss track, no subtweets. Just one move, he posted a photo standing in front of a mural of his late cousin G Money, a haunting reminder of how deep this beef once ran. His caption read, "We lost too much already. I ain't losing more over egos." That post silenced a lot of the noise. Fans started to reconsider. Maybe Fredo wasn't being soft. Maybe he was trying to end a cycle that had already claimed too many lives. But just as sympathy for Fredo began to grow, a final leak landed like a bomb. A call. Recording surfaced, this one from someone close to Fredo. In it, a member of his team talks about preparing a media comeback rollout and says, "Fredo, gonna play the grown man angle. Let Y look like the kid. It'll win the press." The audio was short, but the damage was massive. Was Fredo sincere or just strategic? Fans now didn't know who to believe. Boosie, Gates, YoungBoy, Fredo. Every voice in the story had been caught on record saying one thing and doing another. The beef wasn't squashed, was smothered in contradictions. At this point, the fan base itself fractured. Hashtags flew. Hashtag Team Fredo. Hashtag Free Gates. Hashtag Boosie don't miss. Hashtag YoungBoy knew. People unfollowed artists. Loyalty got tested. Podcasts debated whether real beef could ever end peacefully in the industry, or whether it always ended with betrayal. And then, just as it seemed like the whole thing would collapse under the weight of suspicion, an unexpected move changed everything. Again, YoungBoy's oldest brother, who's mostly stayed out of the limelight, posted a black and white video holding an old childhood photo of YoungBoy and Fredo. He said they weren't always enemies. Before all this, they was boys. The world just don't know what fame do to people, what fear do, what loss do. The emotion in his voice was raw. No promo, no games, just truth. The clip went viral. Suddenly, the beef didn't feel like entertainment anymore. It felt like tragedy. The internet was still trying to process that emotional video from YoungBoy's brother, when an old name resurfaced, one that hadn't been mentioned in years, but still carried weight in Baton. Rouge.tyb Rico. A name only real fans would remember. He wasn't a mainstream artist, never charted, barely even released full projects. But those in the city, Nurico was close to both Fredo and YoungBoy before everything fell apart. He was there before the fame, before the beef, before G Money's death changed everything. And now, out of nowhere, he posted a live with the caption, "They not telling y'all the real reason this beef started. Imma, say it." Thousands tuned in. In the background was an old photo Fredo, YoungBoy, G Money, and TYB Rico all together. Teens, no chains, no ego. Just kids. Rico stared into the camera, eyes red. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. "This ain't about no tracks," he said. "This ain't about no industry moves. Y'all think they beefing over rap? This started with blood and betrayal." He took a deep breath. G Money ain't die over no diss. He ain't die over that video y'all keep posting. He died 'cause people got scared of what he was about to expose. Fans were floored. Rico claimed G Money was days away from airing out a scandal involving label money, false signings, and a backdoor deal that pulled YoungBoy away from their original crew. He said Fredo tried to stop him, begged him to wait. But G Money refused, and that's when things got deadly. After G was gone, Rico said Fredo blamed himself. YoungBoy blamed everybody. They never talked since. All that beef y'all been watching? It's just two people dealing with guilt in different ways. Then came the most shocking part. Rico said that call the one fans saw with Boosie Gates, Fredo and YoungBoy. It wasn't the first one. They talked before, he said. Twice. Off the record, no cameras. But they ain't getting nowhere. Too much pain, too much ego. If what Rico said was true, that meant the viral call wasn't. A real attempt at Piece It was the third attempt. And this time, someone leaked it on purpose. Rico didn't name names, but fans started digging. Theories flew. Who would leak the third call, but not the first two? Who would want the world to think this was the first olive branch, when in reality, it was the final one? Some pointed to the label. Some pointed to Gates, but a surprising number started pointing at Fredo himself. New leak hit the Cena blurry video of Fredo backstage at a private party. Talking to someone off camera. I gave it 3 chances, he said. I did what I could. If this go left, ain't on me. The clip wasn't long, but it added fuel to the fire. Was Fredo setting the stage to look like the bigger man all along? The backlash was instant. #Fredo setup started trending. People accused him of faking peace to gain industry favor, knowing YoungBoy would never fully play along. They said he was making moves for endorsement deals, for tour slots, for respect in rooms that still doubted him, but others weren't buying it. One user wrote, maybe he did try. 3 calls? That ain't fake. That's someone who tried to fix the past. Others pointed out Fredo's silence. Since the backlash began, he hadn't responded once. No tweets, no lives, nothing until now. Fredo dropped a surprise track at midnight, no promo, just him and a mic. The title, Grave Calls. It wasn't a diss. Oh, it wasn't a flex. It was TYB Rico. Gasps filled the comments. Rico ain't innocent. He the one who told the ops where G was that night? He didn't pull the trigger, but he opened the door. And he'd been hiding behind the Fredo YoungBoy beef ever since. Screams flooded the chat. People typed, no way. Rico set him up. This can't be true. But Deuce G wasn't done. He pulled out an old burner phone beat up. Cracked screen, clearly years old, and played a voicemail. It was G Money's voice. I don't know about Rico, bro. He moving funny? I think he talking to them dudes. We said not to. Then static, then silence. The internet broke. Rico, who had positioned himself as the truth teller, was suddenly the accused. The puppet master behind the curtain. The one who had fanned the flames of Fredo and YoungBoy's beef to hide his own guilt. The reaction was swift. Bloggers deleted interviews with Rico. Influencers who had praised his live now posted apologies. Even Boosie commented under a blog post, knew something was off with that dude. And then, Fredo posted for the first time in days, just 2 words. I knew. No explanation, no follow-up. But fans understood. Fredo had suspected. Maybe he even knew the whole time. And maybe, just maybe, that's why he kept trying to fix things with YoungBoy. Not for clout, not for industry, but because deep down, he knew they were both manipulated. YoungBoy followed with a post of his own. They played us, both of us. Double quotes, the shockwaves were everywhere. All the years of beef. The threats, the missed opportunities, the pain. It wasn't just ego, it was engineered. And in the middle of it all, Rico went silent. No lives, no tweets, just vanished. But the story wasn't done yet. A week later, a video surfaced from an anonymous source. A shaky clip filmed at night on a back street in Baton Rouge. In the video, a familiar voice can be heard. Rico's. He's standing outside a car. talking to someone off camera. I ain't mean for it to go that far. They was supposed to just scare him. I didn't know they was gone, shoot. Fans recognized the voice immediately. Confirmation, Rico had admitted it. He hadn't pulled the trigger, but he had opened the door. It was over, or so everyone thought. Because then came the final call. This time, it wasn't leaked. It was posted by Fredo and YoungBoy together. A joint Instagram live. The internet couldn't believe it. For the first few minutes, he just sat there, not saying a word. The tension was so thick, you could feel it through the screen. Then Fredo spoke. "This ain't no PR stunt. We're not here for clicks. We here 'cause we tired. Tired of losing people. Tired of playing a game we didn't even start." YoungBoy nodded slowly. "They tried to write our story for us, but we, the only ones who can end it." Then Fredo looked at the camera. "We ain't best friends. We ain't hugging it out, but we done with the war." YoungBoy added, "This ain't peace cause of fear. It's peace cause of truth." Fans were in tears. Comments flooded in. "This, the realest thing I've seen. Rip G Money." Finally, Fredo and Y stood tall. Boosie joined the live halfway through, laughing through tears. "I told y'all they'd get here one day." Gates never spoke, but he posted a heart emoji and the word freedom. It felt like closure. But the most powerful moment came at the end. Fredo pulled out a chain. G Money's old chain, and held it up to the screen. "We lost too much already. Let this be the last loss." YoungBoy nodded, eyes low, voice barely a whisper. "Let it end with us." And then the live ended. No music drop, no promo, just silence. And for once, the silence wasn't tense. It was peaceful for the first time. In years, the beef was buried, not with bars, not with blood, but with truth. And fans across the world finally breathed again. And just like that, the chapter that spanned nearly a decade of pain, silence, betrayal, and violence finally closed. Not with a press release, not with a fake handshake, but with two voices worn, wounded, wiser saying enough. For fans, it was more than closure. It was a wake-up call. This wasn't just entertainment. This was real. Real lives, real loss, real consequences. We watched YoungBoy grow up in pain. We watched Fredo carry guilt like a second skin. We watched them both try to fill shoes left behind by G Money and end up walking through fire. And maybe that's why this story hit so deep, because behind the beef was grief. Behind the silence was strategy. Behind the betrayal was survival. And somewhere in the middle of all that chaos were two young men just trying to make it out of a war that was never really theirs. But the question still hangs in the air: what happens next? Will the industry allow them to move forward, or will it pull them back into the drama for one last show? Will Fredo and YoungBoy finally make music together? Or was this the last chapter we'll ever see? Either way, one thing is certain. This story changed everything. Now it's your turn. What do you think really happened behind that final phone call? Was Fredo being real from the beginning? Was YoungBoy's anger justified? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you felt anything watching this saga unfold, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next deep dive into the drama that shapes the culture. Because in this game, nothing's ever really over until someone finally speaks the truth.